So there's been a quick, I won't call it X-ray, but a quick attempt to present the Academy from its 30 years of existence, from the statistics provided by Sister and the input from the two members who've been with us for a while. I'm not sure whether, with Sister Helen's permission, we can also ask Zamagni to tag on to this from his position of having been not only a member, but also a president of this union, whether he also has any observations in this regard to share.
Thank you. Oh, the exposition was more than clear and abundant, so there is no need for me to go. I totally agree with what has been said, both from Sister Helen and Pier Paolo and Monsignor. I would like to stress three specific points. There is, in fact, an asymmetry between the amount and quality of intellectual work which has been producing in this academy in the last 30 years, and what we can call public recognition, where public does not mean nothing to do with the state, etc., but the public debate. And this is an issue which was raised already a few years ago. What is the best way to do that? Monsignor Minera mentioned that our work does not enter into the bishops' conferences, or at least of the major countries. That is true. Perhaps, and I could add also the economic, sociological, etc., departments at least in the main academies. After all, our work is typically academic. Why our departments, the departments in our countries, they accept the material from different sources and not from this source? That is a point which can be remedied. In this sense, a very small suggestion would be the following. We should utilize an expanded executive summary. The abstracts are not enough. On the other hand, our volumes are sometimes difficult for people who are not acquainted to a particular type of discourse and are perhaps long enough. On the other hand, if we could extract extended executive summaries, that might perhaps stimulate the interest and the curiosity of those to whom we address ourselves. And that can be done very easily. Second point has to do with the fact that I totally agree we need a rebalancing of the presence among the members of the Academy of the different parts of the world, no doubt. That we have done in the last few years a major effort, but we should insist, and I'm sure that under the presidency of Sister Helen, we will be able to reach that target. And third point, finally, what is important, in my opinion, is to pick up those topics which are, because many topics are important, but some topics are, apart from being important, urgent. For instance, Pier Paolo Donati mentioned artificial intelligence, and it is more than artificial intelligence nowadays. Is the revolution associated to the digital revolution, etc. Now, there are technical, scientific aspects which should be left to the other academy, the Academy of Pontifical Academy of Sciences. And we should be fair enough not to invade somebody else. But what about the ethical, social, and economic implications of the new technology? The big debate today is the debate between transhumanism and neo-humanism. And as you know, Pope Francis last year created a small group, permanent study group within the Vatican of people to take care exactly of these aspects. Just to give you an example, this coming September, from 2022, 2nd of September, in New York, there will be the General Assembly of the United Nations. That is the first time which occurs, an assembly of that kind. And the topic is a pact for the future. Now, if you go through the agenda of the conference, there are at least 3 points dealing with the topic I just mentioned, namely, what should we do with transhumanism? Or should we be happy with that? Or don't we need to counteract transhumanism with neo-humanism? And as you know, the Holy See will participate to this gathering because it's part of the United Nations workshop. Perhaps we might contribute, but perhaps it's too late to organize a workshop of this type, but we might contribute certain ideas on this ground, because it is obvious that transhumanism poses delicate questions. For instance, the artificial intelligence nowadays is already overcoming itself, because there are new attempts to go beyond, because the idea is to reach artificial conscience, not only intelligence, but conscience. And that has been declared recently by Kurzweil, who is, so to speak, the leader in California of the transhumanist project. And those who have reasons to doubt about this development, what do they say? That might be a way to suggest, because in theory, the other dicastery could also take, but I don't know why they do not consider this aspect particularly urgent or relevant, etc. This is an example. Many other examples can be said. So in conclusion, I think that we can improve, and I'm sure that we will succeed, because it is in our, let's say, set of capabilities to be able to reach a larger audience, not because we want to play the role of those who loves that other people are, but simply because we have to pay a service not only to the church, but even to the intellectual world. And as you know, today, our universities all over the world are taking the so-called third mission into consideration. But that third mission does not, why? Because they have no material. I think that you know what has been third mission. And unless you have specific material for the third mission, nothing will be done. In my opinion, the material, the work we produce, they go exactly in this direction. So the final point, we should strengthen the relationship with the official academic world. Thank you.
Okay.